It's week 13 and December already. Time to go through those picks right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had an amazing week 12. I did. We won again in yearly. I hope you guys took home money in DraftKings. We also did. That lineup we set on the live with Trap Cultures in Arizona hit, and we took home some cash. So thank you guys so much. Hope you copied it. Now let's get into these picks right away. But first, you know it's Snowy the Bear time. Cheers, you Christmas elves. Now, just like last week, we're going to do things a little different. We're going to talk about a stack this week. But first, before I do that, I want to tell you what I'm smoking out of. This is the Daily High Club Snowy the Bear from last year, using a vapor slide with Pineapple Express from Zenithsville Cards. The combination is great, and it's going to set us up just right for this pick session. So let's start right off now, and we're going to talk about the stack, and that is going to be with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. First off, he is just absolutely incredible this year. He is putting up MVP numbers, especially with Davante Adams in the field. And believe it or not, we're not going with Davante Adams this week. We're going to tie him up with his tight end, the Funyun of Tunyon. And that's because he has been quiet, except for last week. He got back on where he should have been, and I expect more of the same this week at a nice price tag. He's only sitting at $3,700, so that gives us room to work, especially with a Rodgers stack, and also tying him together with their defense, because the Packers defense could do some things against Philly this week. I have a good feeling that the Packers are going to show up again like they did last week, and look, Philly is just garbage. Wentz is terrible. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have a run game. They don't have a passing game. So expect the Packers to put up a decent day at 3,800. I would get that defense in, and I would also get on some more of this. Now let's talk about the running backs, and there's two we're going to talk about, and one of them we might not even start this week, and that's going to be Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake has a pretty tough matchup going up against the Rams, who they have been pretty good against the run this year. They have a nice front. So even though they're ranked 17 on DraftKings, I do expect to have a nice day for the Rams, maybe a 15-point day for Drake. So watch out for him. We might slide somebody else in at that $5,700 price tag. And another running back I'm going to look at this week that everybody should be looking in, week out, and that is Austin Eckler. Because Austin Eckler is back, people. Look, he's absolutely incredible. When he's on the field, he's one of the top fantasy performers of all time. He is PPR monster, and I expect him to have another huge day. His price tag is a little lofty at $7,100, but that's what you expect with a guy like that who's going to possibly give you 20 points week in and week out. So get him in your lineup, and before we get into those wide receivers, one last pull from Snowy. And finally, onto the wide receivers, and we have good matchups for these four guys this week. First off, we're going to start with Nelson Agholor. He showed up last week late in the game. We didn't think he was going to show up at all, and he finally did. He is really the guy that Derek Carr is looking for early and often, so get him in your lineup. I like his price tag at $5,200 going up against the Jets, and also another team in New York I'm going to go with is Sterling Shepard. I like Sterling Shepard. He showed up again last week. $5,300 against the worst passing defense in the league. I like that. I like what Danny Dimes is doing. They are in first place, and they're going to be fighting for that division, so expect him to show up for another big day with also Robert Woods. Who doesn't have Robert Woods starting week in and week out, especially at a $5,900 price tag? The guy is a PPR monster. Why his price hasn't caught up to his value, I have no idea. So get him in your lineup because Robert Woods will show up against Arizona this week. And another guy, because it is December, that time of year, Devontae motherfucking Parker. Who's more consistent than Devontae Parker when it comes to the end of the fantasy football season lately? Nobody. He is really a top 5 wide receiver. Ryan Fitzpatrick is probably going to be back again this week, and even if he isn't, I really like Parker. He's really good, man. He just shows up week in and week out. Yeah, he lets up on some routes like he did last week and could have some big plays, but when the ball's up in the air, he's like DK Metcalf. He's coming down with it the majority of the time. So start him at the $6,400, and that is the lineup for the week, guys. I hope you're copying it, and if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. We might be removing Kenyon Drake, and we're going to have a live show Saturday morning with my buddy Trap Culture cultures to go through DraftKings lineup, pick one ourselves, and hopefully place in the money with that. So stay tuned. Tune into IG Live, GoStoner Life at 11 a.m. on Saturday. That's possibly when we're going to do it. We might update you in the story, but keep tuned. And as always, before we get out of here, we're going to take a dab. And today, we are again going with that Dr. Dabber and some of this fresh kiwi lime. Check this out. Now that is delicious, people. As we are loading this up, thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate you all out there. And if you are going to get this for the holidays, please use code GoStoner at Dr. Dabber. This device is fucking amazing. I hear the Switch is even better. I don't know, but if you do get it, let me know. But now let's play with this toy, and thank you guys as always. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are going to have a great holiday season. Keep doing what you're doing for the community. Stay beautiful, and most importantly, stay lit.